Today, we're diving into a massive online debate that pretty much reveals everything you need to know about where AI is at in software development. We're talking about the hype, the hate, and the hard truth. So, what happens when something like this goes down? Well, it starts an absolute firestorm. And that's exactly what happened when one little comment on Hacker News kicked off this huge, sprawling debate about what AI coding assistants are really capable of.
And this is it. This is the comment that lit the match. You've got a user who, by the way, is the CTO of a pretty well-known company, and he just drops this bombshell. He says they're ditching a $70,000 a year tool, Claude Code, for its competitor, Codex. Why? Because he claims Codex can profoundly increase the capabilities of his team. That one comment kicked off an all-out war between the fans of these two AI giants.
And just like that, the community split right down the middle. It was like a line was drawn in the sand. You had Team Claude on one side and Team Codex on the other, and everyone was defending their choice with a passion that went way beyond just, technical specs. This got personal.
Now this is where it gets really interesting. People weren't just talking about features. They were basically giving these AIs personalities. Claude was seen as the friendly, fast, pleasant-to-use coworker. The one you collaborate with? But Codex? Codex was the quiet, deep-thinking genius. It might be a little slower, but it's the one you trust with the impossible problems. So the debate wasn't just which tool is better, it was which AI personality fits your workflow.
And this comment just perfectly captures the whiplash that developers are feeling right now. It's this constant cycle, right? A new, shiny AI tool comes out, everyone gets super hyped, and then disillusionment sets in. It really does feel like that friendship ended meme, where loyalties are constantly shifting from one new best friend to the next.
But then, the whole conversation took a sharp turn. It stopped being about the tech and started being about the person who posted the original comment. The questions got a lot more pointed. Who is this guy really? What are his motives? Is he even human?
The skepticism just exploded. See, the original poster wouldn't share any specific examples of his work, saying it was for competitive reasons. And, well, that's all the internet needed to hear. Immediately, people started screaming shill. The accusation was that he was secretly a paid marketer for OpenAI, engaging in astroturfing to create fake hype. Without proof, his claim just became, trust me, bro, and nobody was buying it.
So what do you do when you're backed into a corner and everyone's calling you a fake? Well, he did this. He just let loose with a blast of raw, angry profanity. The message was pretty clear. A polished corporate marketer wouldn't talk like this. A sanitized AI bot definitely wouldn't talk like this. This was pure, unfiltered human anger. And that wild moment led to this incredible and kinda scary observation from another commenter. It really highlights this growing anxiety we all feel online. In a world where AI can write perfect, polite prose, how do you actually prove you're a real person? Is being rude the new Turing test? It's a bizarre thought. Okay, so while all that drama was unfolding on Hacker News, something totally different was happening over on Reddit. They weren't fighting about the messy present, oh no. They were dreaming up a wild, almost unbelievable, fully automated future.
And this is peak AI hype right here. The project was called Loki Mode, and the promise was basically the holy grail for entrepreneurs. The idea was you could just feed it a single document outlining your business plan, and a swarm of AI agents would build the entire company for you, from scratch.
And just look at the ambition here. This wasn't just about writing code. The system claimed it would have 37 different specialized AI agents. They'd do market research, choose the technology, write the code, have other AIs review that code, deploy it, and even set up your billing and draft legal documents. The scale of the dream is just staggering.
So you'd think the reaction from other developers would be, wow, this is amazing, right? Nope. The dev community looked at this dream of total automation and basically threw a giant bucket of ice-cold water on it. The reality check was swift, and honestly, it was pretty brutal.
It doesn't get much more direct than this, does it? This wasn't some nuanced technical critique. This was a gut reaction, a visceral, absolute rejection of the entire premise.
The consensus from experienced developers was clear. A system like this wouldn't create a functional company, it would create an unmaintainable mess. They called it a clusterfuck of AI slop, a tangled web of code that no human could ever possibly understand, debug, or fix. You just can't skip the brainpower part of building something real.
And They pointed out all the ways this would just completely fall apart. I mean, what happens when an agent gets stuck on a simple command? Can an AI make a nuanced business decision about taking on a partner? Who's liable when the auto-generated legal docs get you sued? The critique was so on point that even the project's creator had to walk it back, admitting that, yeah, maybe calling it autonomous was a bit of an oversight.
Okay, so we've seen the arguments, we've seen the crazy dreams. To find the ground truth, we've got to look past all the noise and see what the day-to-day reality of building these AI tools actually looks like.
So let's peek behind the curtain. We're going to look at the pull requests, which are just the real proposed code changes for a popular AI coding project on GitHub. This is where the actual work happens. And what you find there tells a very, very different story from the whole one-click startup fantasy. So, are we seeing autonomous agents building entire companies? Nope. We're seeing humans. We're seeing people doing the slow, detailed, nitty-gritty work. They're fixing bugs, they're improving accessibility for people with disabilities, they're adding support for other languages, they're writing documentation. It's the unglamorous but absolutely essential human work that makes software actually usable. This is the reality.
So, after all that, what's the big takeaway? The real story here isn't about which tool is better. It's not even about whether AI is going to replace developers tomorrow. It's about something way more interesting and complex.
It's really about this constant tug-of-war between the incredible hype and the messy reality. You have the dream of autonomous agents, but the reality is you always need human judgment. You have the fantasy of one-click startups, but the reality is constant debugging. It's the promise of the end of developers clashing with the truth of the evolving developer. The real story here is about a messy, complicated, and evolving partnership between humans and their powerful but very flawed AI assistant. And this whole saga, from the flame wars to the futuristic dreams, leaves us with one critical question. As these tools get more and more powerful, what's the most important skill we need to develop? Is it learning how to write the perfect prompt to get exactly what you want from the AI? Or is it developing the wisdom to know when to ignore it, turn it off, and just trust your own brain? That might just be the hardest problem of all.